Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Today we're exploring urban nature and city life. Can a busy city really help us feel connected to the natural world?
I think it can, and that is our interesting question for today. When people hear the word nature, they often imagine a distant forest, a beach, or a high mountain. But nature is also present in a city. It may be a small park, a line of trees, a community garden, or even a bird building a nest on a balcony.
That's a useful way to see it. In fact, I used to think a park only counted as nature if it was huge and far away. Now I notice small details near my apartment. Last week, I saw a bright green plant growing through a crack in the pavement.
That is a perfect example of the phrase close at hand. If something is close at hand, it is nearby and easy to reach. We can say, fresh air and a little greenery are close at hand, even in this neighborhood. Greenery means green plants, especially when we are talking about them as part of a place.
And urban is another important word. Urban means related to a city or town. The opposite is rural, which describes the countryside. So an urban garden is a garden in a city, while a rural garden might be next to a farm or a village.
Exactly. Now, why does urban nature matter? One reason is our mental health. City life can be exciting, but it can also be noisy, crowded, and fast. A short visit to a green space may give our attention a chance to rest. We do not have to solve a problem or make a decision every second.
I like that expression, give our attention a chance to rest. It reminds me that rest is not only about sleeping. Sometimes we need a break from screens, traffic, advertisements, and constant information. A quiet tree-lined street can feel like a small reset button.
Yes. Tree-lined means having trees along the sides of a road or path. It is a useful descriptive phrase. You might say, we walked along a tree-lined avenue, or the university has a beautiful tree-lined campus. Descriptive phrases like this help us create a clear picture when we speak English.
There is also a physical benefit. If a park is pleasant and safe, people may be more likely to walk there. Walking is simple, inexpensive exercise. It can support our heart, muscles, and energy level. The important point is not to treat every walk like a difficult workout. A comfortable walk still counts.
That's right. Here's a practical tip for listeners: choose a daily nature route. It could be 10 minutes around a park, a street with trees, or a courtyard. Try taking this route without checking your phone. Notice 3 things you can see, 2 sounds you can hear, and 1 physical sensation, such as the wind on your face.
That sounds like a simple attention exercise. It also gives English learners a chance to practice vocabulary. For example, you can describe the color, shape, and movement of leaves. You can say, the leaves are rustling, the branches are swaying, or a pigeon is pecking at the ground.
Great examples. Rustling describes the soft sound made by leaves moving. Swaying means moving gently from side to side. Pecking means hitting something with a bird's beak. These verbs are more precise than simply saying, the leaves are moving or the bird is eating. Precise verbs make your English more vivid.
I have a question. What if someone lives in a neighborhood with very little green space? Is urban nature only available to people who live near a large park?
Not at all. We can look for what environmental designers sometimes call pocket nature. This means small natural areas placed inside developed spaces. A pocket nature area might be a tiny garden, a planted sidewalk, a green roof, or a group of trees beside a building. We can also grow herbs in a pot near a sunny window.
A green roof sounds interesting. Is that a roof covered with plants?
Yes. A green roof has vegetation growing on it, usually with a special waterproof system underneath. Green roofs can absorb some rainwater, reduce heat, and provide a home for insects. They may not replace a forest, but they can improve the city in several small ways.
That brings us to the word sustainable. Sustainable means able to continue for a long time without causing serious harm to the environment or using resources too quickly. Public transportation, energy-efficient buildings, and community gardens can all be part of a more sustainable city.
And notice the common phrase, part of the solution. We do not need one perfect action. Planting one tree will not solve every environmental problem, but it can be part of the solution. This phrase is useful when discussing complex topics because it shows hope without pretending that a problem is easy.
Community gardens are a good example. People share a piece of land and grow vegetables, flowers, or herbs. Besides producing food, these gardens bring neighbors together. They create a reason for people of different ages and backgrounds to talk.
That social connection is important. A healthy city is not only clean and efficient, it also helps people feel that they belong. The phrase "feel a sense of belonging" means feeling accepted and connected to a group or place. A garden, a walking club, or a volunteer project can build that feeling.
It can also improve language skills. Imagine joining a gardening group in an English-speaking city. You might learn words like seedling, soil, to water, to harvest, and compost. More importantly, you would use English for a real purpose, not only complete exercises in a book.
That is an excellent learning strategy. Connect language with action. If you learn the word harvest, use it in a sentence about something you actually did. We harvested tomatoes in August. Personal experiences make new words easier to remember.
Let's talk about city wildlife. Some people are surprised to see foxes, bats, bees, or many kinds of birds in urban areas. Cities may contain food, water, and shelter, even though they were designed mainly for humans.
Yes, and urban wildlife teaches us to share space. Of course, people should not feed wild animals carelessly or approach them closely. But we can make safer choices, such as planting native flowers for pollinators. Pollinators are animals, especially bees and butterflies, that carry pollen between flowers and help plants reproduce.
Native means naturally found in a particular place. Native plants are often well adapted to local weather and soil. They can be a good choice for a garden because they may need less water and support local insects.
Here's another practical tip: use observation instead of judgment. When you see a plant or animal, do not immediately say, "That is beautiful," or "That is ugly." Ask yourself, what does it look like? What is it doing? What might it need? This habit improves both our attention and our descriptive English.
I like that. We can turn an ordinary commute into a mini lesson. On the bus, look out the window and describe the scene in 3 sentences. Perhaps, the sidewalk is wet after the rain. A cyclist is passing a row of young trees. Several people are waiting beneath a bright red shelter.
That exercise practices the present continuous, which we use for actions happening now. A cyclist is passing focuses on the action in progress. You can compare it with the simple present: cyclists pass this street every morning. The first sentence describes this moment, the second describes a usual pattern.
Urban nature can also change how we design our time. Instead of waiting for a free weekend in the countryside, we can schedule small outdoor moments during the week. A 10-minute lunch outside, a walk after work, or breakfast beside an open window can make the day feel less crowded.
The phrase "make time for" is useful here. It means deliberately arranging time for something important. You could say, "I make time for a short walk before dinner." We often say we do not have time, but sometimes we need to make time by choosing one activity instead of another.
That does not mean every moment outdoors has to be productive. We should not turn relaxation into another task to complete. The goal is to be present, enjoy the surroundings, and notice how we feel.
Absolutely. A helpful question is, what kind of environment helps me recharge? To recharge means to regain energy, like charging a battery. One person may recharge in a lively public garden, while another may prefer a quiet bench under a tree.
So there is no single perfect city experience. We can start with the nature that is available to us, even if it is modest. Modest means small, simple, or not impressive in size. A modest balcony garden can still bring color, fragrance, and life into a home.
Let's recap today's key points. Urban nature includes parks, street trees, gardens, green roofs, and wildlife in cities. Spending attentive time in these places can support our well-being, encourage walking, and create opportunities for community.
Our vocabulary included urban and rural, close at hand, greenery, tree-lined, sustainable, a sense of belonging, native, pollinator, make time for, and recharge. Try choosing 3 of these words and using them in your own sentences today.
And remember our practical challenge: take a short phone-free nature route. Notice 3 things you see, 2 sounds you hear, and 1 physical sensation. Then describe the experience in English, either aloud or in a notebook.
Nature does not have to be far away to be meaningful. Look carefully, and you may discover that your city is full of small living stories.
Thanks for listening to the English Daily Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend who is learning English, and come back for another useful conversation.
Until next time, keep learning, keep noticing, and keep finding English in everyday life.